fucking piece of shit. Man. Probably somebody going, man. It's like this. I've said it before, this fucking Microsoft crap. It's like they're constantly upgrading, updating, and it just interferes with everything you're trying to do. Man. You wish then the world was here. And God was judging. Well, maybe not. You might not like where you go. Some of us might need a lifetime to repent. Me included. I mean, one thing you do know how to do well is sin. I know it's not funny, I shouldn't laugh, but, well, you can do that really well. Reason I got on here got nothing to do with that. It has to do with this transgender stuff. I mean, they're really pushing it. You know, with the Olympics, and it's in the news, and it's like you can't get away from it. And the population of that is very, very, it's minute, it's small. It's like a lot of that stuff. Now, my take on it is it's simple. They took men and took the masculinity from men and pushed men into a dung pile and made shows about, you know, how men are stupid, you know what I mean, oh, what's his name, Tim Allen, you know, he had a show there, Home Improvement or something like that, and it was always kind of like, you know, he made noises and acted kind of stupid, and the wife and the kids were smarter. And I mean, there's a lot of shows like that. I'm just using that one as an example. I liked the show. I thought it was a good show, but because I'm not thin-skinned. I mean, even though he was portraying men as stupid, oh well. But you see what I'm saying, and you've seen it too. You know, the man of the house or whatever is dumb, the kids are smarter, and the wife's everybody's smarter. To push men out of the picture to make them irrelevant. Well, what do you think this transgender stuff's doing to women? You see, now it's the feminazis, the feminists turn to be made irrelevant. See, they're going to make women's rights irrelevant. Say, because you can't have strong women, you can't have competent women, you can't have women that are women that actually want to give birth and stay home and be the caring mom and raise children and take care of things. I mean, nurturing and so, the whole list of stuff. Can't have that. So we got to destroy it even more. And people don't see that, I don't believe. Maybe some do. But I believe that's where and what's happening. Now, I like it when people write back and say, hey, you're wrong, you're an idiot. Okay. Or, I like to hear their viewpoints on it. I enjoy that. You know, I always find the comments more interesting than anything, and I enjoy those. Because, you know, in the Bible, if you want to more on this, go back to some of my older videos. because I discuss it more. But I'm just going to throw it out there. God created Adam in his image. Okay? Simple. But he took woman from Adam's rib. You see what I'm saying? He didn't create woman in his image. Say. Woman was a companion to man. That's why men were up here and women were down here. Men were to rule and lead and so on and so forth, and women were there to follow and be supportive. Oh man, you know, I go into more of it in older videos, but think about that for 2 seconds. Tell me where I'm wrong. Because, you know, women can have babies and things like that, men don't. You know, women go through that thing every month, and between that and raising children or being pregnant and raising children, it can take them out of certain, I'm not going to say certain jobs, but it can take and change their life in a total different way than it can a man's. Because this is what the problem is. Men can run around and impregnate all kinds of women. Go home and go to bed. Kind of like animals. Just go home and go to bed. Women then are stuck with rearing a child by themselves. Every month they have to deal with something that men don't have to deal with. See, women's lives can be turned upside down. Well, the man, he just goes home and has a few beers and sits in front of the TV and does whatever, and the woman's stuck with the problem. And it's I hate to call it a problem, but it can be a problem, say. You understand what I'm saying. So, but it's not supposed to be that way. The man's supposed to, the man's right here, okay? The world, men, their families, loved ones, kids, so on and so forth. Okay, you got the family over here. You got men here, and the world sitting over here. It's men that are the what you would be standing between the world and their family. It's a man that's supposed to stand up, right, be righteous, be strong, not emotional, you know, intellectual, and protect the family unit, protect the children from the world. Man goes out, and you can call it whatever you want to call it, but it's kind of a simpler way to put it is the man goes to battle every day so his family can survive. Say. And that's the man's job, to put his life at risk to protect and provide for his family. Loved ones, you know, I mean, you know, there's a lot of men out there, you know, mom gets sick, dad gets sick, they say, hey, you know, just bring them in, you know, we got an extra room, we'll take care of them. That's how it should be. But men are the protectors and providers. But you can't have that in a society. You have to have a bunch of snowflakes. You see, you have to have a bunch of men that can't stand up because when they do stand up, it's like whack-a-mole game. Every time he stands up, you whack him. It's like then he disappears. Another time you whack him. It just you just keep beating the shit out of him, and eventually the men just like they're doing now. They want to live in mom's basement. They want to live in mommy's basement until they're 40, 50, or older. You know. So society got. I shouldn't say society. I should say Satan got what he wanted. Men out of the picture. You see, think about that. He took men, strong, rugged, individual, masculine men that it was bred into them to fight. Yes, to be righteous, be God-fearing, to follow the moral laws, but to stand there and take on the world so their family can survive. Do you understand? So, now, with this transgender movement and all this and that stuff, it's the women's turn now to be demoralized and turned into something that they're not. I mean, when the transgender comes in, it's like he's got rights, she doesn't. Kind of like when men came in, and the woman comes in, the man didn't have rights. We got to have equal rights, equal pay, equal. When I believe in the woman does the job, she should get paid for it. There's a lot of women that are very, very capable. There's a lot of men that are very stupid. But that's how they're supposed to be. They were supposed to be turned into a snowflake or whatever. They're not supposed to stand up. Look at society today. You men are supposed to stand up, period, against all tyranny, all evil, and fight against it to protect your family. Men haven't done that in decades. Look at what's happening. And then you have a class of people that are called law enforcement that can do anything they want. Give you a lawful order, whatever the hell that is. Roll your window down all the way. I gave you a lawful order. Now they bust your window out and try to drag you out of the car and beat knots in your head because you didn't follow a lawful order of rolling your window down all the way. Really. You see how they're trying to keep you down because they figure they made you enough of a snowflake that you'll just abide by their whatever they say, and you'll go, oh yeah, I don't want to get beat up. Real men would have said, well, I'll tell you what, I'd like to see you try. I don't give a shit how many of you are. You better call some more. That's what real men do. They'll take the lumps. And when it's all said at the end of the day, they go, I remember you son of a bitch. You see, you don't want to fight fair. And they don't. But you're supposed to. You're supposed to just curl up in a ball and take it. No, that's not how it's set up. And of course their buddies won't do anything to them. Then they got people brainwashed. I support the blue. Well, I would too if they would do what's right and uphold their oath instead of violating people's rights. I mean, how can you hold your head up when you're out there And what you're doing is worse than the damn criminal. I mean, when you're acting worse than the criminals are acting, what the hell does that make you? Ain't a man. There's a hell of a lot more to being a man than being just brute force. A lot more. Man has to juggle many things, wear many hats. Think about that. You just can't say man's one thing. He's many things. So our founding fathers were men. They had some respect and some decency, along with being tough. They were tough when they had to be, and gentle when they needed to be. What you got going on today? Just a bunch of satanic bullshit that's destroying society worldwide. That's all. And they'll be destroyed along with it. Because God is just. It's God's judgment, not ours. I mean, honorable so-and-so. How the hell do you know if they're honorable? Well, because it says so. See, their name is honorable. Don't you usually have to prove you're honorable? Don't you have to prove you're trustworthy? Don't you have a whole bunch of things to prove before you can be called any of that stuff? Something else, ain't it? I could go on and on about stuff like this, but you follow my drift. I'm kind of getting off the subject here. But like I said, this transgender stuff is just another way to ruin whatever rights women have or had. So now it's their turn. And because men are hiding in the basement. This is why the world's going to shit. It has been going to shit. And the tyrants will stand there during that pandemic crap thing. Old timers. Whatever. But you know what I'm saying. They were standing there not allowing a business, a bar, a gym, or whatever, dry cleaners, not to open and earn a living. But Walmart and Target and the grocery stores and a whole bunch of other places could be open. That ain't even right. That's not even close to being right. Everybody that lost a business should be able to go back and sue every mayor, every police chief for ruining them. Because they had no right. They should be able to go back to Fauci and a whole bunch of other people and sue them because they had no right. There's nothing in the Constitution or anything that says they have the right to do that. See, they just claim they have the right, but there is no right. They don't have the right to do that. Now, they have a right to say, well, I don't want to open my business because I could get sick and die. Okay, that's your choice. But no one else has a right to make that choice for you. And that's why we have a bunch of snowflakes. Because they stood by and just let it happen. And the community stood by and let it happen. And the police stood there in a line after they've taken an oath. They've committed treason. I mean, they're lawbreakers. They are the criminals. Isn't that funny? You see, just think of everything. If you've made it this far, think of everything. When they tell you this, it's the opposite. They're lying. They're committing fraud. They're they're doing everything in their power to create havoc. You know, the devil is lawless. He's a liar. Do I have to say more? Everything they say is a lie. It's the opposite of what it really is. Men can't be women, okay? That's a lie. When they say, "Well, we're gonna pass a bill for this or that," it's usually the opposite of what they say it is. It's a lie. And they, after committing lies like of such and violating your rights and violating their own oath, they don't have any. They're nothing. They're criminals. They shouldn't be in power. I mean, they have actually relinquished their power, their authority, their position by being criminals. I mean, automatically, boom, you don't have the authority to do shit. Why? Because you have violated your oath, you have violated the Constitution, you're a criminal. Oh, I have to be innocent. I'm innocent until proven guilty. Well, that's how it's supposed to be, but that's not how you treat people. Say, you tell me what those people did wrong that was running a business and you closed it down. There's examples on this stuff. I mean, I could go on. Oh, man. You can think of 1,000 examples. Lawful orders, the whole 9 yards. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, this could get very long. I'm just going to drop it right where it's at. So, all I'm saying really is you have to rely on God. Put your trust in God. Pray to God. God is your strength. Okay? God is your Savior. Okay? Think about that. He's everything. He's the only reason you're breathing. Because He gave you breath. He gave you oxygen. Okay? He gave you substance. He gave you water. He gave you everything you need to be alive. And He gave you strength through Him. He will take care of these people. He will fix the problem. He said if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can move a mountain. Does that tell you how much faith people have? Because there ain't many mountains being moved. I mean, when you're having a bad weather, a hurricane, you had this faith of a mustard seed, you could walk out there and stop it. It's over. Jesus did it. Jesus walked on water. Jesus did everything. Why? He had total faith. He was God. He could do it. And He's telling you the same thing. You can do the same. But you have to have faith and believe. No doubt. But that's where the devil comes in. That's where he's playing his games and his tricks on you. He's lawless. He's a trickster. He's a liar. He's a cheat. He's everything that you don't want. And our world's full of it. Y'all have a good one.